Hi, folks. This is James. I am so glad you were here. I I'm absolutely stunned at this newest article by the Wartburg Watch because this is a follow up to the persistent misconduct of a Joe Campbell. And I have to put these on because the print's kind of small. But this is I'm not going to go into a whole lot of detail. I would highly encourage you to go to the Wartburg Watch and read everything in detail because three separate women have come forward. And the interesting thing is, I'm trying to see the name of the person who wrote the article. Uh, D wrote it. Um, there's some stuff in here I didn't even know. Uh, it says here that there's a term. Pedophilia is a form of paraphilia, and paraphilia, defined by the National Institute of Health, uh, this comes from an article written by Christy Fisher and Raman Marhwa that says paraphilias are persistent and recurrent sexual interests, urges, fantasies, or behaviors marked intensity involving objects, activities, or even situations that are atypical in nature. Although not innately pathological, the paraphilic disorder can evolve even if, or I'm sorry, the paraphilic disorder can evolve if paraphilia involves harm, distress, or functional impairment on the lives of the affected individual or others. So it says here that despite the psychological and pharmacological interventions designed to manage paraphilias and all paraphilic disorders, an ultimate treatment or change is yet to be established. Existing interventions merely allow for increased voluntary control through self-management skills over arousal and reduction in drive, with best yielded prognosis only from those individuals who are actually motivated to change. Those who do participate in either therapy alone or ideally combined management of psychological and medicinal intervention show improvement with a marked reduction in the intensity and frequency of deviant arousal and resultant behaviors. However, literature suggests that most SO are likely to reoffend. Yeah. And Joe Campbell definitely did reoffend again and again and again. With Sarah, he exposed this girl to pornography at some of these sleep-ins. Um, According to this story, there was a girl named Kim at Eastland Assembly of God. That was the one in Tulsa where um, she was sitting in a couch on a couch, and he was sitting next to her. He started playing with her hair. He began to rub up and down her thighs. Then he put his hand under her bra and under her panties and she was shaking. It says that he digitally penetrated her. She was still clutching her candy. She jumped up, called her parents, and said she wanted to come home. You know, by this point, Joe was told to leave Eastland, but they knew. And then Carrie, um, he, this girl Carrie, um, they said he continued touching behavior at the church. He would even touch her with his tongue on her fingers. Then, when she was 10 or 11, he her in his garage and broke her hymen. She was bleeding. She told him, "You're too big," and it hurt. Um, Carrie was young, but she began to resist him. She said she, quote, felt dirty. He kept trying, asking, "What's wrong with you?" She tried to report this to the youth pastor, Bill Snyder, and told others as well. Snyder reportedly called her a liar. The head pastor, J.W. Ellsworth, apparently told Joe to leave the church, but it was kept quiet. Inexplicably, he would invite him to return for some functions. This wolf in sheep's clothing was invited back, even though he had been caught abusing young girls. And now this guy is at a non-denominational church that essentially is under the headship of Jim Bakker. And I'm just wondering, I just think Jim Bakker needs to wake up. It is entirely possible he doesn't know. But I hope that this exposure in the Wartburg Watch will do the same thing as it exposed former senior pastor of Gateway Church. I hope it does the same thing here at Morning Star, because this guy should not be in ministry. This guy should be in prison. This is absolutely disgusting. As a father of 3 grown daughters, I am sickened by what I just read. And this is completely and totally unacceptable. And that's why this channel exists. We're going to expose the deeds of darkness. We're going to expose these wolves in sheep's clothing. And thank you to the Wartburg Watch. They said they have one more article on the same guy. I'm just telling you flat out. Joe Campbell should not be in ministry. Period. So, anyway, if you are new, please hit like and subscribe. On the flip side of the coin, the fact that at last check we were at 996, and so we're almost at 1,000 subscribers. So please share with your friends. We've got to let people know that this stuff is still happening, and the more people that are aware that it's happening, the more people are looking and making sure. Why in the world would anyone leave a child alone with a pastor behind closed doors? You don't need to be counseling any child behind closed doors alone. Either A, your wife should be with you, or B, the kid's parents should be there. You know, if a kid is genuinely misbehaving in church, the parents need to be there so they can figure out what to do. There's no way an adult pastor and a young child should be behind closed doors in any pastor's office, period. And this is exactly why. So, oh, wow. Awful stuff. But if you made it through the whole video, thank you. It tells me that you genuinely care about this subject, and that you're with me and you want this stuff to end. So, pray that Jim Bakker has the courage to do what's right. And this guy needs to kick rocks. So, thanks for watching. Thanks for being here. And I will see you tomorrow.